All right, another motor, another Nitro over here. I'm going to be breaking in. Okay, and this motor here, what we got today, what we have here is the HPI F 4.6. All right, this is probably my fourth one here on this bench. Okay, if you guys got a Huddy break-in bench, you're gonna have to lift it because it's got the stupid rotor start. All right, see how that lip? You're gonna have to shim it and rig it up. This and only one screw can be used on each side. Okay, but it's secured. It's tight. My whole workbench here can shake. So anyway, as usual, in my past videos, I got bottom dead center marked, the red. All right, I mark a red mark on my propeller. I set it, I align it when the piston is at bottom dead center. I'm not going to be doing a break-in video again. You guys could go back and see the way I break in my nitros on the Huddy stand. All right, you guys can go back and take a look at those videos. All right, anyway, this is just records because this motor right here is my brother-in-law Danny's motor. So this is just a record here. I keep records. All right, I don't just do videos or whatever. I keep records for myself, you know. So this video here, my brother-in-law Danny's gonna be seeing it, you know, preheat and all that. I'm gonna preheat this guy. I'm gonna take the glow plug out again. I'm gonna squirt some. You guys could put some 3-in-1. But today, what we got here nearby, and Danny's gonna be privileged. All right, me using WD-40 on steroids. All right, the Emsoil MP, right, the metal protector. We're gonna be running this as a pre-lube. All right, after run-ish oil. All right, the 3-in-1 is very good as well. No, you can't complain. You could use this always. All right, everybody should have one of these little suckers in their toolbox, hands down. All right, but we're gonna be doing a couple of squirts there, a couple of squirts here into this carburetor. All right, the F.6 has got a pretty damn good carburetor on her. It's all plastic. All right, dissipates the heat very well. This motor is actually a pretty damn good motor for what it is and for the price. Okay, it's not a motor I would use myself today. You know, I would if like I'm cutting down. I'm thinning the herd on my MTs nitros. Okay, I want to do truggies. If I really want to have like an MT-ish that handles better and everything, I'll get myself a truggy and I'll throw monster truck tires and wheels on it. You understand? And boom, voila, you got yourself a nice monster truck. That's a great platform that could out handle any damn MT nitro, you know. But it's fun to have an MT nitro. All right, they're goofy. They don't handle well. They're all ploppy all over the place. You actually have to force yourself to control it, you know. So it's kind of cool to have an MT monster truck nitro as well. You know, don't get me. Every now and then I'll miss it. I'll bust my LST out, or my MGT out, or the Savage. But this Savage actually has been sitting for a while. I got to go over it. It's my daughter's. Anyway, back to this motor. My brother-in-law Danny, aka Nitro Maniac. All right, and Danny's name on this forum we used to belong to, his name was Nitro Maniac. Anyway, what we usually do, the beginning of the season or the year, like my brother-in-law's coming into this late. Like I've never got out. I've been running Nitro in January and February and March. But if you guys take a break, if you guys select Canada or northern US, shitty winter months, I still run my shit. Most of the time in the winter it might be gas more, but yo, I run nitros in the winter, man. You know, I'll bust out my MGT 8.0. I'll bust out my LST XXL LST nitro. But anyway, most people won't run their shit in the winter. But And you don't blame them if they have a nice platform, if they have a lot of money into it. Usually when it snows, it's fine, but it's the following day that it's very bad because there's salt everywhere from the salt spreaders, and the salt can really fuck up your shit. Anyway, fuel. My brother's got. First of all, when you guys see natural fuel bottles that wind up doing this, throw the shit out. Throw the shit out. Don't use this crap, please. This is garbage. Yeah. All right. So, what I like to do is I like to start the season. What I recommend is starting the season with a fresh gallon or quarts or whatever you guys use of nitro. You guys know the only fuel I recommend is 30% nitro, 11% oil. That has a 50-50 mix of castor and synthetic. You gotta have both. You gotta have the synthetic mix, and you have to have the castor mixed up. All right. I think you guys can understand that. All right. It's not that I'm being a wise ass right now. It's just that I've been getting a lot of. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by this? It's very simple. This is what I mean, bro. 30% nitro. Okay, that's 30% of that's like almost like saying octane. But we're running 30% nitro methane. Then I liked the level of oil, the mix that they use of oil. 11% lubrication. All right. That lubrication of 11% has to be what I recommend for a nitro motor. That 11% of oil that they mix here, make sure they use an oil that has 50-50 mix of castor oil and synthetic oil. Right? Nitro motors are nothing like the gas two-stroke motors that are in here, right? That are on your blowers, your weed whackers, your chainsaws. Nothing like that. All right, it's different motor. Okay, and that it's a tapered cylinder. Everything's different. You got brass. You got different types of metals in here. Forget about it. Anyway, just make sure that it's well. That's what I recommend. If you're racing, yeah, you can use your 8%. You can use your 9%. But believe me, even when you're racing, you could be running 30%, 11% oil. All right. This really good YouTuber. His name is called Still TLR for Life. All right. He's not making videos lately. Hopefully he'll come back. But that man right there used to race consistently with 30%, 11% oil. Right there. Right. Still TLR for Life. Anyway, what we're gonna do here, I'm gonna be breaking in like I break in all the, I don't know, hundreds of motors I've done. I use old shit. You can use your old shit to mix in to break in your motors. Okay, if you don't have old shit laying around, you go and get like 20%. You could use 20% Torco, 20% O'Donnell's. Traxxas shit. Traxxas shit has the 50-50 mix, and it has a ton of oil, which will fuck up your motor running, tuning wise, but it's a good fuel to break in new motors. Yeah, all right. I would use a Traxxas top fuel, shit fuel, to break in motors. Okay. I will not, never, hell no, use that shit to run a good motor, son. Yeah, any damn nitro motor, because right here you could run any motor with this. All right, and have a long life. Okay, that motor right here was supposed to have been blown up by now. All right, not only I freaking thought about that, but the guy who made this motor, who modded this motor, even told me so, and it's still running. This is the only thing I've been running. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna be mixing all this shit up. I already preheated, cool down, preheated, cool down. Now we're gonna fire the sucker up. All right, just to have on record here, the high seems a little too in for my taste. I'm gonna bring her out. I'm gonna either go flush. All right, start her up flush. It's not exactly flush. It's like an 16th down. So I'm gonna bring her up flush. I'm gonna fire her up, get her running, see if I can get her running, if she fires up, keep her running. Then I'm gonna fatten her up a little more. All right, what we're gonna see is a shitload of oil come out of here. That's what I like. All right, it's gonna be a ton of oil. The first couple of tanks, it's not gonna be high revs. It's gonna be slightly higher than idle. All right, it's gonna be loaded with fuel. Okay, loaded with fuel. It's gonna be running fat. What I mean by fat is rich. Okay, we're gonna warm her up just like all the other videos. Bring it up to 200 degrees. Fire her up. Get her running. I'm going to do a tank. Once the tank is low, I'm going to kill it. I'm going to set the piston at bottom dead center. And we're going to cool down. I'm going to walk away from it. The next time I start it up, it's going to be warmed up, preheated. Fire it up. Do the same thing over again. All right, you can go back to my past videos and see exactly. I explain everything there, what to do. Look what else I found here in the garbage. Okay, you can quartz. I got a bunch of these, but if you guys do not have a bunch, do not throw these away. Save them, because these make great pit bottles. Like save it, right? If you guys got a gallon at home, you want to go out to a park or whatever, bash your shit, shake up your gallon of fuel, fill this up, get your quart, open the quart, put a funnel here, fill it up. Then you can carry this around. Take a quart with you if you guys are going to go out for an hour or two, a couple hours. All right, they're great to have. And it's the reason why I say that, or unless you have a bottle like this to carry with you, one of these pit bottles. The reason why I recommend using a quart, if you don't have one of these or whatever, is that you don't want to be taking your only gallon of fuel with you in your car, hot car in the summer. All right, you don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want to be carrying this. You don't want sunlight to hit your fuel. All right, you gotta respect your fuel, number one. Then you gotta take care of it, because if you have shit fuel, if you have a whole gallon, right, a whole gallon can go to shit quick. If you leave it open overnight, throw it out. You have either throw it out or use it for breaking in motors. Okay, it went to shit. Sorry to tell you that. Make sure your shit is always locked tight. Make sure it's out of the sunlight. Keep it away from sunlight. Make sure your shit's stored on top of rubber, wood, carpeting, a shelf, something like that. Do not keep fuel on concrete floor. Do not. All right. Just it's simple stuff. Simple stuff. All right. I'm just I hope you guys do this. I'm just trying to help out as much as I can to save as much Nitro Brothers as possible. All right, because the only reason why we've been losing Nitro brothers and sisters is because they've been running shit fuel, running shit motors, not running the right shit, not having the right setups. So I'm trying to be here to help you guys prevent a lot of headaches. Okay, so preheat. Get your temp gun. Make sure you read the temps. Fire your sucker up. Alright, now we're gonna preheat to fire it up. It's all fueled up. .123 is way too cold. Now after we get this motor running for the first time, we're going to see how she is, how she sounds, and if she can keep it idle. I'm going to give her a little bit of gas. Make sure she stays running, and then I'm going to riching her up even more. If she stalls because it's too rich, I'm going to back her up a little, just to keep her running. Then when she's running, I'm going to keep an eye on the temps. You have to keep heating her up. Alright, if you have a problem, if you're tired of it, 190 is fine. But I'm going to bring her up a little more. 190 is fine. I could start this up right now at that temp, but I'm going to go up to 200, 205, fuck it. Run her up. If you have to, while she's running, keep giving her the heat gun. Alright, I know that sucks, it's a pain in the ass. But that's what you got to do if you don't have the head warmer. Alright? 201, perfect. Well, got her running. First time ever. Richen her a little more. Richen with no speed, even more, way more. Instead it was acting up. It was like overleaning out. Look how beautiful she's running now, like a watch, and she is fat as hell. Alright, she is running really, really good. I just gotta keep an eye on the temp. She was acting up. She started leaning out. She was running really rough for a while ago. The temps were 243. And I just got her down to 190. Which I have to bring back up to 200. 205, 220, and then back up. For the rest of the remainder of this tank. Alright, it is now the second day. Okay, I had run this a few tanks already. Preheat, cool down, preheat, cool down. I had to richen this up. the high speed a bit. I just got it flush because I noticed it was kind of in a little. And the low speed, I had to richen it 1 full turn. All right, and this is how this motor came out of the box from the factory like that. That's the only way I was able to get a nice idle from it. Okay, now we ran into a couple of issues. The issues that we have here, I don't know if you guys can see that. See that orange? Right, that's the Byron's oil, the fuel. We got ourselves a leak here. This thing runs like a charm, but it's got a head leak. All right, so if you got fuel oil coming out of that head there, you're losing power. But she sounds really good. She runs good. She sounds better. This motor is running real good, better than some people's nitros out there. And unfortunately, we have ourselves a little head gasket problem here, so I'm going to remove this head. All right, so far what I've noticed, the head bolts, there's only 4 of them over here in this HPI motor, is very loose. I hope that's the problem. Most people would more than likely just torque down the head. I'm not going to do that because you don't know if any head shim could be pinched or whatever. So if you torque her down, if you ruin that head shim, you're screwed, right? You don't expect this motor to be running good or that long. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to do a real good inspection. And since we're going to have the head off, okay, I'm going to notice and see if, yeah, it's in the right direction. You have to also shape your head, because that, always keep an eye on your head. There's always an opened area. The open area, you want to face it forward for the airflow. A lot of people don't know about that. All right, so sometimes you have to change the position of your head. All right, so for example, the way this motor is sitting right now is how it would sit on an LST. So if it was my motor, if I was going to put this motor in an LST, I would remove this head and face it this way, right? So the LST would be in the front, would be here, and the back would be here. You understand? So every head has like a wall and then an open area. Okay, the open area is what you want to face forward and back so air flows through. Okay, on a Savage, it's going to be facing that way. Okay, like a buggy or a truggy. All right. Sorry for the lighting. It's getting dark here. It's like 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. right now. All right, we're almost there. I do not want to do this. But, oh yeah, she was leaking from here. Now be careful. Sometimes your head shims get stuck to the head. Alright, just over here, Loctiting the screws, getting the screws ready. I'm cleaning each one. They were very oily. I'm cleaning each one. Loctiting it, getting it ready. Bust out my